Hey there, Papa's Posse. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to my eBay, YouTube, and Instagram page. Welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's Comic Books, coffee, and more. Okay, today's reading, Batman Killing Time, number 4 of 6. This book was $4.99 in 2022. It's Killing Time. That Should Do It by Tom King and David Marquez. Now, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and of course, ring that bell, okay? Here we go. Killing Time. That Should Do It. 3 hours earlier, just after sunrise, just outside the small town of Englehart, Batman proceeds west on Highway 82. He's clocked at 127 miles per hour, well above the local speed limit. 14 calls come to the Englehart County Sheriff, Stephen Paston. Batman is here, and he's on his bike. He thinks it's a joke, and he calls his wife, Ellen, and asks for her why everyone is going along with it. She says she doesn't know. It's not even that funny. Uh-oh. Later that day at 3:15 p.m., Nuri Espinosa meets Edward Nagama, the Riddler, at Cosmopolitan Waffles off I-34. I don't have the blankest money. That means we paid you the friggin' money. If your guy was at the house yesterday, he missed me. We had to leave in a hurry because someone shot me. Look, Nuri, you think I want this thing? I got shot for this thing. You bring the cash, I hand it over. The deal is the deal, and the deal stands. My guy was at the house where you told him to be. He never left the house where you told him to be. Now, if you want to leave this house, Nagama, you should and you should give up to me. An hour earlier in the same Cosmopolitan Waffles, Espinosa meets with Ronald Sheridan, the branch manager. You the manager? Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? Is there a problem? All right, that's $25,000. I need you and your staff and your customers to clear out of this restaurant for the next 2 hours. You got 5 minutes or else there's going to be a lot of problems. What? You can hear me. I gave him the money. I want to team up the 10 minutes here. We're going to run some drills so you all look boring at the time Niger gets here. Yeah, 10 minutes. What the government do you think you work for? This isn't the EU. What? Earlier that morning, Batman is fighting tigers. I'm fighting tigers. No, I think I missed them. No sign of anyone here. The cages are all opened. They know I'm coming. They're trying to delay me. Yes. Well, I have to get them back in the cages. No. In fact, I am not going to leave 30 tigers roaming the countryside. Yes. I am perfectly aware of how much the Foundation gives the animal rescues. I am doing my best. 3,000 years earlier, on April 8th, 1157 BC, at 5:49 p.m., a grave of the Thebes carries her son's head on a stick found in the forest. She yells out, Look what I have here. Her father, Cadmus, awaits her at their palace. Daughter? He speaks with glee and confidence. There was a lion in the forest, and I have slain it and fed on its flesh and kept its head for mounting. Her eyes search the front of the palace. I must show my boy, my king, Pentheus, my son, come out now. She calls to her son. You will love what your mother has done. At 6:32 a.m., 3,000 years later, the help stops at the Paris Gas and Wash half a mile off the road. Pardon, do you perhaps have a map of this area? I am not as familiar with it as I should be. I am attempting to locate the town of Englehart. I don't know. Most people just use their phones. Indeed. Well, Still, I would greatly appreciate your help in procuring just a local map. You see, tragically, I do not carry a phone. The old eyes don't take on to the new glow. You know what year it is? You should get a phone. Indeed. You make a keen argument, son. I most assuredly should invest some energy in obtaining such a device. Piffed. Yeah, you should. 4 minutes later, the help looks at a map on the phone. Young man, you were absolutely correct. Not only did I find the Englehart easily, I was able to look at the number of locations in the direction the Batman is heading. And obviously, this big cat sanctuary here stands out of the distinct possibility for his potential destination. He is chasing the Catwoman. He must know her contacts. It seems only natural. Let's see after he stabbed him. All of which is to say, thank you. You've been a real help. And that is something to be cherished, is it not? Say hello to the next generation. Okay. 9 hours later, Riddler tells Nuri Espinosa that he does not have what she very much wants. Nuri, it's not a puzzle. If it were, I'd tell you and watch your struggle to figure it out. I don't have it here, and I can't get it unless you get me the money. No complications, no twist. The maze, that goes from a to slap. Oh, man. Slapped again. Don't. I know who you are, all the power behind you, and I respect it, I do. The home of the free and the brave. But don't you dare ever touch me again. And slapped again. Earlier at 7:09 a.m. that day, Kyle Graham gets out of his car, as he does every morning. We need to meet with your buyer today. Doesn't matter how many times we switch cars, the Bat's going to find us. Not least because you leave him clues. He is going to get a cup of coffee from his local shop. Whap! I don't leave him clues. Is lying to me a clue? I occasionally challenge him with riddles. Jesus, Eddie. I mean, why is it so fun to get punched at by a bat? If everything were easy, what would be the point? Only if overcoming obstacles do we demonstrate our worth. Seriously? To who, Eddie? Who the blank are we demonstrating to? Well, that's what the real riddle we all have to solve. And what an adventure that is. 2,500 years earlier at 7:33 a.m., the Bacchae of Euphrates is being performed on the southwest lawn of the Acropolis. Will no one being bring my son hither, that mine eyes may look on his and show him this my prize? Alas, if ever you can know again the truth of what ye did, what pain of a pain the truth shall bring, or were it best to wait, darken forevermore and deem your state not misery, though ye know no happiness. What seest you thou here to chide, not to bless? Raise me thine eyes to yon blue, to dome of air. Later at 9:33 a.m. on March 6th, an exhausted Batman pushes back at the tiger that attempts to devour his head. Shunk! The blade of the cane is coated with a strong dose of anesthetic. The cat falls into a deep sleep from which it should awake in a few hours. The clerk at the gas station remains quite dead. Please excuse the interruption, Batman, but it seemed you needed the help. Later that afternoon at 3:22 p.m., blood drips from the Riddler's nose. Why is the letter F like death? Because without it, life is a lie. He is also recovering from being shot in the stomach the day before. Clever. The tone in his voice reflects the perceived injustices. I'm going to kill you. The customers and waitstaff who now show themselves for the armed forces they actually are do not seem to notice. I bliggin' doubt it. At that same time, 500 miles east, Penguin lies in a hospital bed. He too is recovering from numerous injuries, numerous perceived injustices. Just 2 days earlier, Riddler betrayed him, stole Penguin's treasure, and beat him half to death. Actually, quite a bit more than half. In response, Penguin sent the Help to kill Riddler and recover Penguin's treasure. Yesterday, the Help betrayed Penguin, declaring himself now independently in the hunt for the treasure. Today, Penguin screams. Ah! Earlier at 9:38 a.m., Batman and the Help talk among the tigers. Ask me. You are a man of uncanny intelligence and great deep training. We have fought you. We have fought. You have properly evaluated me. You have rightly concluded a scrap with me here will do nothing to benefit you, and will in effect allow the object you chase to fall further from your grasp. The better move is to take advantage of the advice, knowledge, and skill, and to pursue our goal in tandem. Then, when the moment comes where the two of us have equal opportunity to take possession of the prize, then we will have our scrap, and it will be bloody, and it will be final. You know this Riddler and Catwoman better than I do. I admit they are not my personal cup of tea. But I would wager I know more about the ultimate players in the game than you do. And the two of us together might probably navigate this delicate terrain. So, Batman, ask me. We'll take my bike. 16 minutes later, I've collected all the remaining free tigers. Batman secures the gate. When this is over, so are you. Ah, yes, the unearned confidence of youth. You wear it well, sir. I will no doubt regret when I tear it from your hide. 2,500 years earlier, the play continues. 'Tis done what dost thou bid me seek for here, for there. Is it the same, or changed on thy sight? More shining than before, more heavily bright. And that wild tremor, is it with thee still? I know not what thou sayest, but my will clears, and some change cometh, I know not how. Canst hearken then, being changed, and answer now? I have forgotten something else I could. What husband led thee of old from mine abode? Echaman, whom men named the child of the earth. And what child in Echian's house had birth? Pentus, of my love, and his father's bread. Thou bearest in the arms and head, what head? A lion's. So they said in that chase. Turn to it now, 'tis no long toil and glaze. Ah, but what is it? What am I carrying here? A few millennia later, the kitchen of Cosmopolitan Waffles off of I-34 is empty. Why is the letter F like death? Mostly because without it, life is a lie. Clever. I'm going to kill you. I blickin' doubt it. At 9:57 a.m. that same day, the Help and Batman discussed their mission. Do you know how Ra's got a hold of it? I didn't ask. You weren't at all curious? If I wanted to know, I'd know. I don't have a helmet for you. He showed it to me once. This was 75 years ago. I was a skinny little child with curls still in my hair. It was just a glance. He was a drunk bragging how he didn't have to conquer the world because he already had. A man named Graham reported to the hospital with whip wounds on his neck. Police spotted his stolen car about 100 miles west of here. Not a night has gone by since then that I haven't seen it in my dream. It's a place to start. It haunts you. It has haunted me. Later that afternoon at 3:25 p.m., Riddler takes Nuri's hand in his. So, Nuri, riddle me this. If it takes 5 cats 5 minutes to kill 5 mice, exactly how many cats do you need to kill 100 mice in 100 minutes? Now, the easy answer is the same, 5 cats. Any child can tell you that. But we're not children, are we? We've left the playground behind and no longer seek simplicity. So we actually know the real answer is. He breaks 2 fingers on her right hand. Crack! It depends on the cat. Oh, that hurt. 7 years earlier on the mountain in the east of Lone, a man takes on a dozen of the most skilled fighters in the world. Well, he certainly is motivated. What's his name? What his name is not relevant. What matters is what it shall be. He is the heir. I seem to remember you already giving away his name. Are there now to be two of us? Might be confusing at parties. I have watched you these many decades, my son. You have wasted a life in service, helping others, never helping yourself. I once thought you worthy. I was mistaken. At 3:36 p.m., Catwoman sits down with the Riddler and Nori Espinosa. So this is the great buyer. You're not going to introduce us? Selina, this is Nori Espinosa. She works for the United States of America. It's a big country, well known in all the right circles. Nori, this is Selina. She works for the cat treats. Well, yes, but only the very expensive kind. Pleasure to meet you, Nori. Hey, you. Now, I was just telling Nori that we can still all come to an agreement regarding exchange of money for services. It can all be very nice. Roar! If we handle this like civilized people, but we can't, of course. 2,500 years earlier, the play continues. As a Gave now realizes what it is on the end of the stick she still carries in her hand. 'Twas thou and thy sisters wrought his death. And what place was it? His own house, or where the dogs tore Actaeon, even there. Why went he to Kithon? What sought he? To mock the god in thine own ecstasy? But how should we be on the hills this day? Being mad, a spirit drove all the land that way. 'Tis Dionas hath done it. How I see it, he wronged he denied his deity. 700 years earlier, the head of the king Pentheus rots on the end of a stick picked from the ground in the nearby forest. His mother weeps nearby while a god laughs. 3,000 years later, at 10:05 p.m. on March 5th, at the edge of the Burley Pier in South Gotham, a coin flipped through the air. I have recently come into a great deal of money. I would like to use this great deal of money to rent our men, your goons, just for one night. You get rich, I get one night. Sounds like a fine bargain, Oswald. But in my experience, there's another side to every offer. A lot of us in this town, a lot of us with goons. Why me? Well, Harvey, you're right. There are quite a few of these loyal idiots in Gotham, desperate men willing to follow a little crazy to win a buck. Must be hundreds, if not thousands of them, if we add all our lots together. That's why you're not my first stop, or my last. Earlier that day, Riddler decides to pay for his meal at Cosmopolitan Waffles. I just can't get the waiter's attention, and I'm not going to sit around all day. How much do you think it was? Shouldn't she pay? Oh, she'll pay. Shall we say tomorrow night and twice our original fee? I'll call you later with the location. That should do it, I think. 37 hours later at Moldorf Park, 600 miles west of Gotham, the sun shines down on a long night's work. The dead don't feel its warmth, and the living are too hurt to care. 32 hours earlier, the help leaves Cosmopolitan Waffles. Very polite people. Everyone I spoke to claimed the restaurant had been open all day without interruption, and they don't remember anything about anyone. They lied with such alacrity, I thought I was back in Gotham. Signs of a struggle? It's been cleaned up by professionals, but it's all there if you know how to look. There was quite a Donnybrook. Whomever they were meeting with, they didn't get along with them very well. And whomever they're meeting with is probably the one who covered everything up. Someone with quite ample resources, probably government related. It is an interesting journey, this. We walk lightly between the sovereign and the insane in such of, what would you call it? Mine. To be continued. And that was Dark Crisis. Batman Killing Time. That should do it. Number 4. Hope you enjoyed this little reading. And don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and ring that bell. And as Papa and Batman always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.